It was raining, the kind of rain that stung, not because of its cold, but because it reminded people they were alone. The streets of downtown Atlanta had emptied except for a few ghost-like figures huddled in corners. Among them was a boy, no, more than 12, his hoodie too big, his shoes worn so thin that cardboard poked out the soles. His name was Jalen, and this night, like many before it, he was alone beneath the flickering neon light of an abandoned diner. Jalen wasn't begging. He never did. His pride was stubborn, a flame that hunger hadn't quite put out yet. He scavenged instead. Half-eaten sandwiches from trash cans, lukewarm fries abandoned by careless hands. That evening, he'd found a bag of fast food someone had tossed, still wrapped, still warm. It was a good night. He sat cross-legged under a plastic awning behind the diner, steam curling up from the burger in his hands when he heard it. Soft sobbing, a woman's sobbing, raw and unfiltered. He peeked from behind the dumpster and saw her. She was dressed too well to be here. A navy blue coat, heels scuffed by concrete, a string of pearls around her neck, now damp from the drizzle. Her hands trembled as she wiped mascara from her cheeks, and her phone lay shattered near the curb. Jalen hesitated. She didn't belong to his world. But pain, that didn't care about class. He stepped forward slowly, the burger wrapped tight in his hands. "Ma'am?" he said, voice cautious. She didn't hear at first. "Are you okay?" She startled, wiping her eyes quickly. "I'm fine," she lied, standing up too quickly and nearly stumbling. Jalen didn't believe her, but he didn't pry. Instead, he held out the burger, his only food for the night. "Here," he said. She looked at it, confused. "No, I can't. I already ate." He lied with the ease of someone who'd lied for survival. "Take it, please." She took it. They sat on opposite ends of the alley wall. She ate in silence, one bite at a time, as if each chew pulled a little pain from her heart. He didn't ask questions. He just sat beside her as the rain softened into mist. After a long time, she said, "My name's Meredith." He smiled, a small one. "Jalen." She looked at him again. This time really looked. His eyes were old, too old for a boy, but his gaze was soft, gentle. "I used to have a son," she said suddenly, voice breaking. "He would have been your age." Jalen didn't say anything, but the way his shoulders shifted closer was answer enough. The next morning, Jalen woke up in the alley, back aching, empty stomach rumbling. He didn't expect anything to change, but as he walked toward the library dumpster, his usual scavenging spot, he heard commotion. Police cruisers lined the street. News vans. A woman in a crisp suit stood near them, clutching a microphone. And in the middle of it all, standing like a statue in a fresh coat and tearless this time, was Meredith. She pointed when she saw him. "That's him," she said. "That's the boy." Before he could run, he'd been taught to run from uniforms. An officer approached, but gently. "Jalen, right?" He nodded, terrified. "Don't worry. You're not in trouble," the officer said. "You're the reason we're here." Confused, heart racing, Jalen looked back at Meredith. She walked toward him. Kneeling, she pulled something from her coat pocket. A photograph. "This was my son," she said, voice softer now. "He died 3 years ago. Car crash. I haven't spoken to anyone about him. Until last night." Jalen blinked, unsure what to say. "I was going to jump," she whispered. "From the bridge a block away. I'd planned it, said my goodbyes in silence. But then," she paused, looking him in the eyes. "Then you offered me your only food." He froze, his chest tightened. "You didn't ask for anything. You didn't even know me. You just cared." The cameras clicked. She stood facing them now. "This boy reminded me of humanity," she told the press. "He saved my life." Jalen looked at the crowd, at the suits, the microphones, the flashing lights, and all he wanted was to disappear. But Meredith wasn't finished. "I'm starting a shelter," she said. "Right here, in this neighborhood. For children like Jalen, we're calling it Jalen's Light, and he's the first person it's going to help. It was too much, too fast. Jalen stepped back. I don't want no charity, he mumbled. It's not charity, Meredith said. It's your reward for kindness. But Jalen didn't believe in rewards, not yet. Still, when the officer offered him a ride, he didn't say no. The shelter began as a room above an old clinic. Cots, secondhand toys, a warm plate for every child who came. Meredith came every day, working harder than most volunteers. But she didn't treat Jalen like a case. She treated him like her own. Weeks passed. One evening, Jalen stood in the room they gave him. Walls painted blue, a desk in the corner. He stared at a small framed photo Meredith had given him. A new photo. One of her and him, both smiling under the diner sign. He hadn't smiled like that in years. At night, he still dreamt of the streets, still flinched when someone raised their voice. But the hunger, that hollow ache, was gone. Not just the stomach kind, but the other kind too. The one that came from never being seen. One morning, Meredith sat beside him on the porch. She handed him a journal. For your thoughts, she said. He held it like it was something sacred. I never had a birthday, he said quietly. She smiled, brushing his hair back. Then we'll make every day your birthday. That winter, the shelter took in 5 more boys, all broken in different ways. Jalen helped each of them unpack their pain. He didn't need to speak much. His presence was enough. People came to know the story. It went viral. The boy who gave away his last meal trended for days. Celebrities donated. The shelter expanded, but the core never changed. A table, a meal, a listening ear. 3 years later, a boy ran through the shelter, doors in tears. His name was Dev, 11, bruised, afraid. Jalen, now taller, stronger, but still soft-eyed, knelt and offered him something wrapped in foil. Burger, he said. Still warm? Dev took it, trembling hands. Already 8, Jalen lied, and just like that, the circle completed itself.